Sweet. Well, chickens, aren't y'all happy today? I'm not gonna yell at y'all. I'm not gonna be yelling about the fucking litter that's everywhere. But here's some books. You can keep them along. Let me get to my chiz at. Echo! There we go. I caught it. I caught it before the echo. But now, I get the music back. Chickens, what story shall we read today? I heard a hen. Hen is a good Reddit. Let's do well, Glitch in the Matrix is somewhat fun and doesn't Iceland the entitled parents. Here's one I found that might be fun. It's called Crackhead Craigslist.
Oh no.
So let's see what they have to offer. I'll try to find something that doesn't rely on a picture. There's a lot of fucked up things on here. Now they all have pictures and they're actually really fucked up. Ah! Oh. That was grotesque. It is time for some Zen music.
His royalty-free music?
It is. It's royalty free. It's royalty free. And it's royalty free, so it's like, come on. It works. Here's one. Oh, heifer. This is a story. Let's see. Went camping and came back to a new reality. How does that sound for you? Let's see. We also have a what if. It's just a what if. A little short. Let's just do it. Let's see. This one is What If by the Cambridge Historian. This is who posted it.
Cool.
I've had a keen interest in the TV show Ancient Aliens. Right off the bat. That's already not good. That's just not a good thing to do. But the more I watch it, the more I'm starting to think are aliens us from the future?
My dad thought that too.
Are these little gray, big, black-eyed beings really us, but many millions of years yet to come? People say if there is such a thing as time travelers, we would have seen them.
They eat us.
What if a UFO is really a What do you mean? What?
Keep going.
I said
Keep
the name
going.
at the beginning.
Just keep going.
You're throwing me off.
I can tell.
Well, where was I? Where was I? Well, if a UFO... Well, what if a UFO is really a vessel sent back in time? Also, Roswell. Maybe back then no one knew the truth, so press released it as a UFO. But then it was discovered. It was time travelers from the future. So they covered it. Because they could not produce aliens. Only future humans. Also, look how quick tech has sped up since then. Okay, it's all wild ideas, but you gotta admit, it does make you think. I think you're watching too much Ancient Aliens, and the only thing I watch Ancient Aliens for is to just laugh at it. Chickens, what do y'all think? Let's see. I wasn't there. This was posted by the same individual. The Cambridge historian again. That's who posted it.
Cambridge historian.
Cambridge. This is my very first story. Trust me, I have many more. But we'll start with this one. Make my own Minecraft sipping sounds. It was a normal day. Nothing had happened before these events, and I was sitting at my computer at home, sorting some old photographs. I had probably been there for about 45 minutes, and not left the house at any point that day. This will become very important very soon. I think the closet I got to going out was letting the dog... What? I think the closest I got to going out was letting the dogs out in the backyard. And then I only opened the door so they could go out. Anyway, I was sitting flicking through these old photos just to confirm I like old things. History is my thing. Then my mobile phone began to ring, and it was a friend of mine. He doesn't give me a chance to speak, and I hear him shouting down the phone, "What the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you?" I tried to speak and maybe had to raise my voice to tell him to wait and explain. What is he going on about? Still upset, he tells me he was in town and had come up to me no more than 10 minutes before, and I had completely blanked him out, just staring at him with a blank expression, and turned away and walked off. He said he was left shocked and upset because he was with 2 other friends and I had completely embarrassed him, and he decided to call me and ask what was wrong with me. Okay? You know what? Two people can look exactly alike.
Right?
And I actually had a friend who looked exactly like me. Except he was skinny.
Doppelganger?
Like, we put both of our little IDs next to you. It's like, yeah, you're a fucking skinny version of me, dude. You're straight up skinny me. Even his mom, when I walked in the house, was like, wait, what? Did you find the twin? What the fuck? I asked him, was this a joke? But I could tell by the upset voice he was totally serious. And I had two other people with him who witnessed it. I told him he was mistaken. He said he was 100%. It was 100% me. He even showed photos off Facebook to his two friends who confirmed it was me that they had seen. I went on to explain to him how I had been at home all day and not been anywhere near the town. To be honest, this sent chills down my spine, and talking to him later, he told me my expression was blank. Just staring in the distance, and even when he faced me, I was looking through him like he wasn't even there. I had no idea what he saw. I know it wasn't me. I was at home all day. Was it some kind of glitch? Or another me was created by the glitch? I don't know. Has anyone experienced this? Let's rummage through the comments. We got some counter stories in it. That's so weird. Even if it was your doppelganger, would they have looked straight through him? No, they'd have likely acknowledged him and said he had the wrong person. So it sounds like a different dimension crossed over. How simple! Yes, like the other me couldn't see him. Totally freaks me out. Is the response by Cambridge. Okay, one more. This one's a little... Okay, really weird theory, but if a clone or human-like robotics are such a thing right now anyways, does anyone here think there's a chance that some of these doppelgangers experiences are a form of testing? Maybe they need to see if a clone simulation robot, etc., that mimics humans can be legitimately used and mistaken for a real person. Again, just a theory, but I think a lot of these experiences are related to energy. This one is quite unique though, and it doesn't strike me as that, so I'm not sure. Crazy experience. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay.
Glitch in the Matrix fun. Ooh. Isolated. We're still in the same glitch of the Matrix. This one is posted by Collide with the Sky 1. I've been sitting in my room for about 2 hours, just browsing the internet like a normal teenager. I looked at the time on my phone. It's 4:45 p.m. and I decided to call my friend, just because we haven't talked in a while. The first time I called, it just went straight to voicemail, so I was like, okay, her phone is just turned off. And I waited about 10 minutes and called her again. It picked up, but went straight to this really high-pitched whine that hurt my ears. Then I started to wonder if something was wrong with my phone. So I called my other friend, straight to voicemail, and then the really high-pitched sound after about 5 seconds. Then I really thought something was wrong with my phone. I decided I was going to tell my mom that I was going to call her phone just to try one more time. But my mom wasn't in the living room. Neither was my stepdad or brother. So I tried to check my mom's location on my phone, and it didn't show up. At this point, I wasn't freaked out, just really confused. So I went back to my room. Figured they had just gone out for lunch or something. I sat down at my bed, looked at my laptop again. 6:45. Somehow, I had lost about 2 hours in when I thought was 10 minutes. I got up again and got really dizzy. Iron deficiency is a normal thing for me, so I sat back down to collect myself. I grabbed my phone because I had realized I had forgotten to get it before. 4:47 p.m. It had been 2 hours and 2 minutes in all of a span of 10 minutes. I know that sentence is kind of whack, but oh well. I am freaked the hell out. Let's see. One comment. Interesting. What times does your phone show you making those calls? His reply, call-eyed with the Sky One replies. My phone shows all of the calls at 4:46 p.m. Yeah, I'm reading stories from Glitch in the Matrix. Let's see. A deer melded with a mailbox? Posted by Min Now Farfeli. Minnow Farfule. I'm only assuming that's how it's pronounced. Why are you folks way over there? What, you don't like the stories? Alright, we'll swap it up after this one. The fucks. Clay likes the story. Clay's sitting here watching. Hi, Clay. Yeah, I know, they're all shoving you around and now you conform. Okay. A deer melded with the mailbox. So, when I was in high school, my friend and I were driving around, having just dropped off with our other friend at home. My town is pretty small, and it was nighttime during the winter, so there wasn't many people out in the streets. I was driving along when I saw a silhouette of a big dog step onto the street a little further down. I remember saying to my friend, "Is that a dog?" "No, it's a trap."
Yeah.
It doesn't say that. I just added that.
I know.
And I didn't finish my sentence. The dog was now a deer walking across the street. Then things get even weirder. Well, first of all, a deer walking in the street isn't weird at all. Just want to point that out. My entire concentration shifted onto this deer. It was like nothing else existed. It walked to the other side of the road and walked behind a red mailbox. When it reached the mailbox, its legs melded into the mailbox pole, and it disappeared. I snapped back to reality when I said, "What the hell? What the hell?" I had taken my foot off the gas, and we were slowly rolling down the street. I looked over at my friend, and she had this astounded look on her face. We pulled over and described what happened. and she had seen the exact same thing. We got out of our car and looked for the deer tracks on the snow, and there was nothing. We spent the entire night feeling jumpy and like we would wake up from a dream at any second. We had not been drinking or doing any drugs, and everything else had been completely normal that day. And to this day, I have no explanation for what happened. First comment. Deer are magical creatures and do things like this often, dude. Like, come on. Have you not seen a deer documentary? They're fucking magical. This is average shit. Maybe a ghost of a deer? Sounds like the mythical skinwalker. Those are the only 3 comments. That's funny. Oh, what's this one? Is this... Okay. This is another short one. Same Reddit. This one is posted by Swain. Yep, and that's it. It's a Swain. Oh. Can't read these stories sober. I, F20 in parentheses, I had a few friends over last night to get ready before we went out into town. We were all in my room, and a couple of them left to go to the kitchen. And then I told my friend, who was still in my room with me, that I was going to get changed. And I'll meet her out in the kitchen in a second. Let's call her Amy. So she left and closed the door behind her. One whole wall in my room is made up of sliding door mirrors where I keep my clothes and etc. inside. And as soon as she left, about 5 to 10 seconds later, I saw Amy again. But only out the corner of my eye. She didn't see her reappear all of a sudden, but she definitely had just left out the door when she closed it behind her on the other side of the room. I just thought maybe it was my guitar or curtains moving in the breeze, but watching her in my mirror wall, I watched her do the exact same thing again. Walk the exact same route and way to my door, which was closed this time, and opened it and leave, and closing it behind her again. I even turned around to see her in the flesh, and not just in mirror's reflection. She was still there and very real. As soon as she closed the door and left, I heard her talking to the girls already in the kitchen both times. She said the same thing both times. I sat on my bed, drank some water, and freaked out for a second, watching the corner where I first noticed her reappearing, but nothing since that. I wasn't drinking or any sort of other substances, completely sober. I haven't told the girls because they assume I'm crazy. There's only 2 comments on this. Let's see the comments. The brain is complex. I think most of these stories can be explained by some kind of temporal malfunctions. Same goes for deja vus, maybe, which maybe also work for audio and visual perception. Probably having something to do with how our brain stores memories and the barrier between the conscious and the unconscious. It's fascinating, but you shouldn't worry if it's not regular. Next comment. Damn, that's crazy! Y'all sure she ain't an alien? the first comment was all serious, and the next one was like, "Damn, that's crazy." You sure she wasn't an alien? Oh, I saw some other interesting one in there. Let's go around. So, shall we do another entitled appearance?
Yeah. Another good one would be, I don't even work here, lady.
Hmm. Let's do that one.
Do you have cobblestone on you, huh?
No, but there is a cobblestone farm. Check the second row of chicken. Yes, they're producing stone and cobblestone.
Good.
We're over here. Yep. Gotta check those legals. Okay. Right off the bat. Alright, I guess that's so now I'm in the I don't work here lady Reddit. Okay? The total anti-Karen Reddit. This one is posted by True Knives. Yes, judging by the extra 2 Z's adding up to 3 emphasizes the exaggeration.
Right.
So, this story is called Karen Knocked Out Cold by Store Security.
Oh no.
Finally, I have a story to post on here after hearing so many stories from here read on r/what?
r/ here on
Well, yeah.
r/.
Here read on r/. Oh, it's because he put the color red and not just the word read.
Weird.
This story comes from a hardware store in New Zealand. Yes, we do exist. Look at a real map.
What?
A bit of background here. Before the story that will help. It's a Kiwi tradition that when a charity or club needs some cash, they host a sausage sizzle, the New Zealand equivalent of a hot dog stand, outside this said hardware store. So they put their wiener schnitzels outside the hardware store. That's fun. So I'm helping out my younger nephew's sports team run the barbecue and cook the sausages when one of our cooking utensils breaks. We said the hardware store sells this tool, and so I could take some cash, jog and slide, and buy another one. Now, the uniform for this place was red and green. It was a red and green apron draped over normal clothes and covered shoes. I was wearing a blue and a white butcher's apron over my normal clothes and flip-flops. While I'm cooking for the item, looking for the item, I hear a loud "Excuse me" from behind me. I turn around and see a woman with a bright red face barreling towards me, mid-40s, blonde hair, with terrible bangs and glasses thicker than Kim K.
Wow.
I assume they mean Kim Kardashian with the thick banana, chicken leg. Disclaimer: swear words are a commonplace in New Zealand and don't really hold much stance in a conversation to offend. I'll try to censor as much as I can. So we got K for Karen. Let's see, we got OP, which I'm gonna assume is our Othello here.
Yep, the one who's talking.
Yep. Okay. K. Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to get your attention for the past 5 minutes, and I need you to come ring this up for me. She points to a new garden hose and some flower seeds in the basket. OP, pardon? I don't work here, lady. I'm on the... Okay, with an interruption. The fuck you mean you don't work here? You're wearing the uniform, the apron. OP, lady, I'm on the sausage schnizzle outside. I'm here to get a new pair of tongs. Okay, I don't care what you're doing. I need this taken to the till and rung up now. My dogs are in the car and he's going to lose his shit soon. OP, get stuffed, lady. I don't work here. Go to the checkout and leave me the fuck alone. Okay. Oh, wait. She loses her shit and flips and starts screaming at the top of her lungs. Her lungs. Her lungs. Because carrots don't have lungs. They have lungs. They last longer. Now, Kay, what the fuck did you just say, you little cunt? I'll knock your teeth out. Okay? You ungrateful little shit. I'll have you fired. Get my husband to fucking kill you.
Oh.
They always steal their husbands right under. This ain't the first time. Now, I'm 6'4" and 110 kilograms. About 240 pounds for the Americans. Sorry. So I'm not a small man. This woman would have been just at my chest height, about 5'4". So the idea of knocking my teeth out made me laugh. This just pisses her off even more, and she proceeds to throw the garden hose in her hand at me and missed horribly. Lady's already thrown shit. At this point, a female staff member had heard her outburst and was running down the aisle to see what was wrong. Okay. This worker told me to get fucked, and they was like going to kick me out of the store. I want the manager right fucking now. I'm going to get you fired and make sure you never work in this town again.
Good luck with that.
The worker turns to me and then back to her and calmly says to her, "This dude doesn't work here. He's on the barbecue out front. He's a customer." I explained I was just here for some new tongs, and this lady came up to me and started screaming. I had to serve her at a till. I was screaming that I had to serve her at a till, and then threatened me and threw store merchandise that she hadn't paid for at me. And I'm going to assume the till is register.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's a register. Karen then proceeded to scream more profanities and insults at both the staff member and myself. This was enough for the real employee to ask the lady to leave the store. The woman proceeded to get physical. Yeah. They're from New Zealand, I guess. Spelling, they only need to be critical of the spelling. The woman then proceeded to get physically angry and threw the rest of her items on the floor and started pulling items off the shelf. The employee radioed. Oh, I guess she's just throwing stuff off shelves now.
Uh-huh.
The employee radioed on her walkie-talkie to get security to come down to the aisle that we were in and escort the lady out of the building. Security arrived and had to physically escort the lady out of the building, and in her kicking and screaming and struggling, Karen manages to break free and starts throwing wild punches at the security guards, hitting one of them in the face.
Oh no.
This security guard was about my height and related as such by swinging back and connecting straight with Karen's head.
Oh, that wouldn't happen.
Karen's out cold, and an ambulance had to be called to check both the guard and the woman. Police arrived shortly after, and thankfully the store had security cameras down each aisle, and the review of the footage clearly showed what happened. When the Karen came to, she was charged with assault and taken to the police station after a check over by the ambulance staff. Sad to say the hardware store was out of stock on the utensil I needed, but the trip in there wasn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Edit.
Crazy lady.
P.S. For all the people asking about the dog was fine. The window was down and we gave it plenty of water. Someone came and collected the dog and the car and the car and the dog about 2 hours after the incident. First comment, she didn't get checked out, she got decked out.
Right.
Let's see. Here's an uncomfortable comment. Judging by, I'm only assuming that it's uncomfortable based on the smiley face. He puts the smiley face with like a little sweat symbol on it.
Oh yeah.
Which I interpret as an awkward kind of smile.
It is.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say the name. I'm so sorry. Was that her first time to store? I'm in awe, so I know what store you're talking about. Her logic makes no sense. And then the comment the person made was, good old store, with that face after it. So, I'm not sure how to interpret that, but...
Is
What
Fetus
the hell?
asleep?
Fetus? 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 You good? Are you sure? Are you sleepy?
Uh-huh.
Sleepy? The Tad sleepy? Did I put you to sleep?
Oh yeah. That's how we do.
That's fine.
Oh, no.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Just yeah.
Yeah. You have a good night.
You gotta get sleep, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Yeah. I needed how many? Okay, I was gonna say how many times have we heard, you know, a snore?
Right.
Okay, let's do a few more. This one is by Captain Crud, and it's not Captain spelled correctly. It's Captain. Captain Crud. All because of a keyboard. Yes, it's me again. Another story from the Walmartian. I was in Walmart in the electronics section looking for a new keyboard. I'm a klutz, and I spilled my Coke on the keyboard, and of course the keys began to stick, finally sorting out. As I checked out the keyboards, checking the prices, a somewhat elderly gentleman stood next to me. He was looking at various styles and prices. He asked what the difference was between two keyboards. Oh, five. And I told him one is just for everyday use, and the other one was geared for gamers. He asked me, why are RGB backlit? Why are some RGB backlit? When the keyboards light up. I said, it must be for aesthetics or something. Some gamers treat their PCs like they're classic cars. They are souped up with the latest tech. There are a couple keyboards here that are backlit so the letterings on the keys don't fade over time. I'm no expert in electronics. It's the best if you ask a sales rep. The gentleman thanked me and found it as the sales rep. I picked up my keyboard and headed to the register when I heard a voice. Excuse me, I have been waiting 20 minutes for you to finish. I said, impossible. I've only been here for 5 minutes. I know, I timed it. Well, that's neither here or there. Help me with this television. It has a picture of Netflix on it. Does Netflix come free when you buy it? I said, no, probably not. That's false advertising. If it has Netflix on the box, it should be free. I said, well, ma'am, you should email or call the television manufacturer or Netflix and suggest it. Well, it has Netflix on the box, and I am buying this television, and I should get it free. Ma'am, there is nothing I can do for you except tell you to go get a Netflix account. I'm not too tech savvy when it comes to smart TVs. Then it dawned on me. She thought I worked here. No wonder you only sell keyboards. You're not that bright. Then I uttered those magic words that has me posting here again. Ma'am, you misunderstand. I don't work here, lady. That gentleman and I was talking to was asking my advice. And with that, the floodgates opened. The accusation of not wanting to help her, being lazy and sexist and even racist. I didn't try to interrupt her. I let her go on her mindless rant, all while a crowd had filtered around us. Ma'am, are you done? Look at me. I'm in dirty jeans, high tops, and a Pink Floyd t-shirt, along with my winter coat. Since when is this standard issue for a Walmart employee? I spoke softly because I learned the best way to get someone's attention is talk softly, so they will quiet down to hear you. Ma'am, if you're going to continue with this attitude, these people, well, they'll think you are serious to treat me. You are a serious threat to me. And them, and maybe even yourself. Oh, okay. She's a threat to them, him, and yourself. So please just calm down and try to comprehend these words. I do not work here. I am going to talk to you slow so the words sink in. She heard a few giggles and turned around and got a look at the people staring at her. She stopped like a deer caught in the headlights. Some smirked, some just looked shocked, their head in disbelief. A grown woman would act this way. The woman walked away with her tail between her legs, humiliated. I tried to be polite about it, but there is only so much a person can take. And as she left, the crowd left. I went to the register with my keyboard in hand. The cashier said she felt sorry for me, and she would be unemployed for slugging her. I just paid for my keyboard, shrugged it off, and said, "Some people, you know." And so here I am, with a new keyboard and a new post. Side note, I don't call her Karen because I have a sister named Karen, and she's far from the internet meme Karen. Have a great day. Oh, that's a good one.
And done with what I was doing.
Oh, you've been building something behind me, haven't you? Everybody, surprise build. Chickens, did y'all like the story? The Blaze chickens are staying around, right? Blaze chickens will blaze at 420. Let's blaze it. Let's blaze before the reveal.
You actually got out.
Okay.
Not too much farther.
Is it right here?
Okay, now it's behind you.
Okay, I said, okay, here we go. There we go. There we go. Reveal. Oh my days, it's a house. Oh my god, it's a nice house. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. 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 Yes, come. Jump. What time is it? Is it getting close? Okay. Now, I'm gonna read you a bedtime story. Here's one. Another one from I Don't Work Here, Lady. Fucking assholes. This one is by Lipsy907. Let me say it real slow like for you. The year was 1999. I was in high school, and because it's been so long, I'll go ahead and tell you that I was in a maroon polo with an Arby's name tag, an embroidered logo on the shirt. That was an awkward way to... No, I read it awkward. I read it awkward. He's in an Arby's uniform.
Oh, okay.
That was a very fancy way to say Arby's uniform. It had been a long Saturday. One of my managers and I were friends and decided to take our break together. She needed to grab something from the local sports store in the same shopping center. I tag along. We do our shopping and get in line, like people do. We're absorbed in our conversation and I don't have a clue what was about. It had been a few years since then. What? I don't have a clue what it was about. It had been a few years since then. Yeah,
I had no clue what was about to happen, and it's been a few years since then.
I think they're talking about the conversation. We were absorbed in our conversation. I don't have a clue what it was about. It's been a few years. But I do know that we were happy about the topic and laughing while we waited to check out. In an age before Karens had been labeled as such, a challenger had appeared. I only knew this because of an obnoxious, forceful tap 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 on the back of my shoulder. Annoyed, I turned around and popped off with a surprise. Can I help you? Karen. Yeah, could you quit cutting up and joking around on the clock and open up another register? You know, the usual. You try to butt in and say you don't work here. She won't shut the fuck up long enough to. When she finally stops her entitled ranting, I very, very slowly point to the logo on my shirt, make direct eye contact, and slowly, very slowly say, Arby's. And then turn around and go back to my day. Some Karens just want to watch the world get written up. That's fine. Sure. Okay. Before Karens were so bold.
Right.
It's not nighttime yet. Okay. Let's do one more.
It's just past afternoon.
Ooh, this one sounds like a little bit of a nuance. Nice little medium story. This one is posted by JCLOM0. J-Clone. There we go. Sip of the water. To put this story in perspective, I need to explain a few things. I'm a super weird with food. Also, almost phobic. I had a childhood eating disorder called avoidance restrictive intake disorder, which means I'm way more than just a little bit weird about food. I once got hysterical when a 3-year-old child offered me a mango and some juice, and got some juice on me. I'm so prone to overreact about food. Also, I'm Australian, and we swear a lot more than others. It's not as rude as it would be elsewhere. Also, my sister is a year older than me and has been protective of me. Finally, to the story. Characters. M is me. S is my sister. O.W. the other woman who is a customer at the restaurant. Not quite a Karen. She started off polite and did not try to call the manager at all. I was about 20 years old. and out for dinner with my sister and friends, dressed in black jeans and a black shirt, so I would probably look a lot like a waitresses working at the restaurant. I left the table where we were sitting to go to the bathroom, and as I was walking past the table with the other woman and her kids, other woman says, "Excuse me, could you take this?" and thrust a dirty plate at me and asked me to clear the table of dirty plates. With my weird phobia with food, I jumped backwards to get away from the offending used dirty food. And I bumped into the table behind me, and I drew attention from other people in the restaurant. I was embarrassed, but also getting really anxious, so I didn't handle it very well. A good way to handle it would have been to calmly explain to the other woman, "I don't work here." However, I squeaked out something more along the lines of, "Get away from me!" The other woman got annoyed with me and started saying, "Do your job, this is terrible service," that sort of thing. This rounded me up more, and she was still waving the dirty plates at me. Who was them again? Me, of course. Me, leave me alone, and I tried to walk off. The other woman grabbed my wrist. "I don't walk away from me. Do your bloody job and clear the plates." I tried to pull my arm free and sort of shouted, "Let me go! Let me go!" As we were arguing, we turned around, and the other woman now had her back to the table I'd been at. At this stage, my sister had come up to us, and because we turned around, she was right behind the other woman. The sister leans in to the back of her head and says, "Fuck off, cunt! She doesn't work here!" We then left the restaurant, and the meal was ruined for everyone, probably including the other woman and her family. But I love my sister for standing up to me, even when I'm being a crazy bitch. You're not being a crazy bitch, what the fuck? Edit. This is my first post, and I forgot to put in TLDR. The argument starts at the restaurant because I'm mistaken for the waitress, and the sister makes the not quite Karen back off. Okay, you need to put an E at the end on that, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's funny. That was fun. Oh, look at this. Yeah, and good night. That was a fun story.